Hey Internet, my name is Julian and I'm here with the Nerdy Brew News. This week we had a lot of gaming, movie, and TV news came out, so let's just jump right into it. In gaming news, we have Futurama, the beloved TV show from Fox, is actually getting a new game. There's been previous games on consoles and on mobile. The previous mobile game was actually called Futurama Release of the Drones, and this new game is actually going to be called Futurama Worlds of Tomorrow. Now, the game is actually being created by Tiny Co., along with the original creators from Futurama, which is exciting to know that they're going to be on board to keep it genuine. Now, apparently the storyline for this game is actually going to continue on from where the TV show left off, so I'm excited to see where it's going because of how the story actually ended in the TV show. As for how Tiny Co is making this game, I'm kind of worried about because they are known for Futurama Quest of Stuff and Avengers Academy. Not that those games are bad, but I don't want it to be like Futurama Quest of Stuff, where it's kind of just build your town and gather stuff, and there's some special things that go on every season or whatever. I'd like to see a whole new game out of this, and hopefully they do that. There's not much more information based on the game, but once it does come out, I will release some more information. It is expected to release this summer. So what are your thoughts on this game? Are you excited for Futurama, and where can you see the storyline going? I'd love to hear your comments below. In other gaming news, PlayStation 3's production cycle is about to end. Now, there's no official word yet, but on Sony's Japan website for sales, their only console for PlayStation 3 is the 500 gigabyte console, and it states that the scheduled shipment times are coming to an end. So what does that mean for us? That means we're probably going to follow suit soon, with US and other markets probably ending their production cycles as well. But it's had a long run. It's had over 10 years worth of runtime, and this isn't uncommon for Sony. The PlayStation 2, its previous console, had 13-year run and actually ran through PlayStation 3 cycle and released a year before PlayStation 4. So what were your favorite games on PlayStation 3? I'd love to hear them in the comments below. In TV news, with the release of Marvel's Iron Fist on Netflix, comes with the announcement that the Defenders TV show is actually wrapped up filming. What this means for us is that we'll soon be getting Defenders, which I believe comes out probably summer this year. Although Iron Fist isn't getting great reviews, I think it's pretty good, and I've only watched a couple episodes so far, so I'm really excited to finish out this story and see how it all kind of comes together. For those of you who don't know, the Defenders will include previous heroes from the other Netflix Marvel series TV shows, such as Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Elektra, and yes, Danny Rand from Iron Fist. There's no word of yet as whether or not Punisher will be in this show. He does have his own series coming out later this year, so we'll see how it ends. I'm sure it's only going to be an 8-episode series to begin with, and then they're going to advance from there. So we'll see if Punisher makes his cameo debut at the end and joins them for a second season. Now, all those other characters do have other seasons coming up, which will be probably within the next year or two. I believe they're just kind of focusing on Defenders, the Punisher, and then they'll go from there. Most likely, Jessica Jones will be the first one to get its second season, since that was the first one in the lineup. But you never know. With scheduling conflicts, it could be a different character getting a sequel or a second season. So I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on the Defenders. Are you excited to see them on TV as one together? And what do you think as for Sigourney Weaver's villain? In other TV news, for fans of Flash, they just announced that in Season 4 there will not be a speedster villain, which I'm super excited for because it's gotten really repetitive over the last 3 seasons. In the last 3 seasons, you had Reverse Flash for Season 1, Zoom for Season 2, and now Savitar for Season 3's villain. I'm really excited to see where they're going to go with this and how other characters from Flash are going to be included. And I'd love to see what kind of villain is actually going to be used for Season 4. Not only that, but they introduced a new character to the TV series played by Anne Dudek. It's going to be Tracy Gold, who is apparently a genius from the future. So does that intertwine with the villain? I guess we'll see. Is that the new villain? Maybe. I'm just going to put a guess out there. Who knows? But we'll definitely have to see once the show comes out, which will probably be in fall. Usually they do debut. With this season 3 finale on the horizon, I'm really excited to see how they end off and how they're going to transition to season 4. From previous season 2 to season 3 was cool, where he kind of jumps into the future, and then you get all this Flashpoint, they call it now. Not really kind of Flashpoint from the comics, but it's their own version of Flashpoint. And finally, in movie news, we have big news from Robert Downey Jr. that he's going to be playing the character of Dr. Doolittle in the reboot for Dr. Doolittle called The Voyages of Dr. Doolittle. That was a lot of Dr. Doolittles, I know. Robert Downey Jr. has played a lot of characters over his time and has had an amazing career. He's portrayed Iron Man over 9 years in 8 films and has 2 more underneath his belt that he's got to finish. He's also portrayed Sherlock Holmes and a ton of other characters. So I'd like to hear your opinion on what your thoughts are of him being Dr. Doolittle and what your favorite character of Robert Downey Jr. is. Go ahead and comment that in below. And the final movie news that I have for you today is going to be on the live-action Lion King remake. Now, you have it directed by Jon Favreau, and it's actually slated for production start in May 2017. Now, back in February, it was announced 2 cast members were casted, and it's going to be James Earl Jones reprising his roles as Mufasa and Donald Glover playing Simba. Now, this is going on with the current trend that Disney's had in the last couple of years with remaking animated classics into live action, with Maleficent, The Jungle Book, Pete's Dragons, and a couple others. There's also rumored for Mulan and Aladdin in the future, and I'm sure a bunch of other ones as well. Now, I'm super excited for this movie because I really love Jungle Book, and it was also directed by Jon Favreau, so I'm excited to see how he takes The Lion King and makes it more realistic. The only difference between that and this is you had at least a human being in The Jungle Book, where this is going to be solely, I guess you can call it CGI'd animals. So I'm a little worrisome, but also a little hopeful for this movie. So I'd love to hear what your thoughts on the movie are. Are you excited to see the Lion King remake? Are you excited for the current trend that Disney has? Leave your comments in below. So the final topic I'd like to talk about today are paying my respects to 2 legends of the entertainment world. The first being Bernie Wrightson, the co-creator of Swamp Thing Comics, and an artist over probably hundreds of different comics from Marvel, DC, and other publishers. The second being Chuck Berry, who's probably the top pioneer of rock and roll. You probably know, if you don't know him, you probably know his songs, and if you've ever watched Back to the Future, you definitely know Johnny B. Goode, which is when Marty McFly's playing at the prom on stage on the guitar. So may they rest in peace, and prayers go out to their family. Now that's it for me from here at the Nerdy Brew News. Expect to see more content within the future, especially when news articles start to pop up. I'll be posting them as often as I can. If you like this video, give us a like. If you want to see more of these videos in the future, please subscribe and share with your friends and family. That's it for me, so thanks, Internet. I'll see you later.